So this week Netflix has released a new live action show based on the original anime series Cowboy Bebop. This short video is going to give you an overview of what Cowboy Bebop is all about and also my initial views on the new series. Stick around.
I think it's time we blow this scene. Get everybody in the stuff together. Okay, 3, 2, 1, let's jam.
Set in the near future of 2071, Cowboy Bebop focuses on a small band of bounty hunters as they scour the galaxy looking for crims which they can locate, bring on in, and then turn around for some Galaxian credits. The original anime, which was released in the late 90s, consists of 26 episodes, and it was followed up a couple of years later in the early 2000s by a movie. The group itself consists of SPIKESPIEGEL, a cool dude who could be a mutation of die-hard Bruce Willis combined with Jackie Chan and perhaps Steven Seagal himself. An ex-crim, he's turned his hitman skills into catching the baddies. Next up, we've got JETBLACK. He's an ex-police officer. He's the yin to Spike's yang. A bulky character, he tends to use full-on muscle to wear down the baddies, whereas Spike is more of a kung fu kid. And then you've got FAYEVALENTINE, a formidable and often seductive character. In the anime she weaves in and out of the group, often working to her own objectives. She has a very interesting backstory that I won't go into here, but was quite a reveal when I first watched the show. There's Edward, a particularly eccentric girl who is a tech genius and helps the group get through some scrapes. Again, a very curious backstory. As soon as you meet her, you're keen to learn her origins and how she has become who she is. Iron. Every great show needs a great pet, and Iron is just that, a Welsh corgi who quite clearly is more intelligent and capable than your average canine. Each episode focuses on the group as they chase down a criminal or a group of criminals. That said, there's an overarching theme which focuses on Spike and the Syndicate, a mafia-like organisation. Also, several shows within the series will focus on the backstory of one of the main characters. A huge draw of the show is the music. A real wild mix mash of jazz, blues and even opera. It somehow lends itself really well to the near future premise of the series. Most of the tunes were composed by Yoko Kanno, who was only in her mid-30s. It was apparently a reciprocal approach in that her watching scenes prompted her to write the music, but then also the creators listened to her other pieces, which in turn inspired new plots and scenes. There are so many cheeky little bass lines underpinning every scene. Often cited as being one of the most influential and popular anime series of the 90s, Cowboy Bebop was extremely successful from its early conception. Big in the US and obviously in Japan, it was perhaps slightly less popular in the UK. The reason for that may be because it wasn't released on a mainstream channel. It was on CNX, which was an offshoot of the Cartoon Network, which only lasted a year or so. However, over time, with DVD releases, easier access via the internet, that popularity soon caught up. The trailers, in my opinion, confirm that the casting crew have done a good job. I'm only a few episodes in on the Netflix series, but so far it's really standing up well. Spike, who's John Cho from Harold and Kumar fame, and Sulu from Star Trek, he fits in perfectly. Got very well cut suits, he's got his jazzy haircuts, and really well delivered comedy lines. Jet, well, he carries the beefy physical attributes with the grumpy exterior and the means well interior. Faye, well, I haven't seen too much of her yet, but her appearance and her bad habits are very much in keeping with the anime. The plot also seems true to form, and when I was watching the first episode of the Netflix series, it really mirrors the first episode of the anime. You meet the group, but you're also introduced to the drug Red Eye, and also the criminals same. They come across Asimov. I believe the series was done in partnership with Sunrise Inc., who were behind the original anime. This perhaps further ensured they wouldn't stray too much away. Even the branding of the Syndicate members is apparent with their black suits and red shirts. The scenery and backdrops are truly stunning, and Netflix have really opened their wallet on this one. The space scenes are worthy of appearing in a fully fledged film. The choreography of the fighting is immaculate. Nice little touches such as a VW Beetle sitting in the background of one of the Desperado-esque towns they visit is just marvellous. Although there are clearly similarities between the two, I wouldn't say that the Netflix show is a copy and paste of the anime. Both of them can really be enjoyed independently of each other. At the time I put this video out on Netflix UK, both shows are available, so if you've got access, then I'd recommend you watch them. I've loved what I've seen so far in the Netflix series. I'll be honest, I had some considerable doubts when I first heard it was getting made, but that said, perhaps because it's live action as opposed to, you know, reinstated anime, it just works. The caveat being, I've only seen a few episodes and I haven't seen the full set of this new series, so I haven't quite cast my final judgment. A seemingly open budget from Netflix has arguably also helped. It doesn't look like there's been any compromises when it comes to the money chucked at the sound effects, the props, the backdrops. It's all spectacular. And there's a nice little touch on the Japanese version. They brought in the actors from the original anime to do the dubbing. Well, I hope you enjoyed this video. If you did, please hit that subscribe button. But most of all, leave me a comment. And I'll see you on the next one. Cheers.